It's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in once again, and I appreciate your support. On this episode, we have Swell Cell from Clan AG and his Tier 7 Challenger. He's on Fisherman's Bay, spawned into the north. Headed over to the east side. So Fisherman's Bay has been turned into a bit of a disaster. It was actually not a bad map before, and now it's just not good. It's not good. But one thing you learn in this game when you've got maps that aren't good is you learn how to play them. And we're going to see how Swell Cell has decided to operate on this map. Now, one of the reasons I say it's bad is because these two assassination lines, one sitting here where his green tanks are going to, and one sitting here with a bunch of bushes on both sides, the ability to spot anyone trying to cross over into the city from here and here unless they go all the way to the red line and around. Which you can see that's exactly what Swell Cell's team is doing. Only very new people or dead tanks go this way, because they soon will be if they cut too close and get spotted by the enemy in the bushes. That being said, you learn how to handle these maps when they change, and one thing Swell Cell knows about those bushes is there are going to be people in there. Now pay attention to his damage total at the end of the game, and then take a look at what the damage shown is that he had. And he's going to start blind firing right here into this corner where he knows they sit, just outside of their spotting range, dropping some rounds in there. And he's running the bigger gun, which the Challenger now has a pretty nice gun. Used to be a little pew pew, was the top gun. Now it's got a pretty nice, it's like a 94 millimeter, some weird, you know how the British do their 10 pounder, 12 pounder, 2 pounder, whatever it is. Anyway, pretty decent gun, good reload time, decent punch at, I want to say 280 or so, is that right? 280, let's take a look while he shoots away. 280 damage, penetration 220. Fires away into those bushes where people typically sit. I need to be careful. This tank is a little bit ammo limited, so you don't want to spend the whole time shooting in there and lose every round. Does that for a while. 430 kind of hides a little bit. And Swell fairly soon here will start looking for other pastures. And he's probably taken 2 or 3 more shots than I would have. But no big deal, he comes around here. Now he's looking for people poking around, and he finds this somewhat of a Muppet IS who kind of sits there. He's tracked though, he's got nowhere to go. Takes some shots, gets tracked again, and he's just completely getting wrecked. Nothing he can do. Down he goes to Swell's gun. And I think right here, there was actually a shot in here, I thought. Let's see what happens when he moves around. He's looking for him. Well, I guess there wasn't a shot. Investigates the shot and then turns back around and starts to look. He's still got a good stack, the IS-6, T-34-3, the T-71 CMD, all sitting up there. They have the potential of lighting those guys up in the bushes, at which point they can get crossfire from down below. He's taking a look in there. Really low on shells. He does shoot one more in there, but now he's only down to 18 shells total. Knocks down that tree because that tree probably deserved it. There's the T-34. Doesn't investigate that. I might have investigated that shot right there. Swell, I think you might have had one, but it doesn't matter because you push in. This is a little bit dangerous here. If there's somebody in that alleyway where the IS died, you could get shot, and then there's the potential of being spotted from above if you stay too far right. I thought you did stay a little further right than I would have. Come around the other side of WZ. I might have shot this T-28 on the run as I came in. You do get spotted, and then there is another Challenger on the enemy team, but he's got the pew-pew gun, shot you for 140 on that. Some people still run that one. I'd have come right around this corner and try to take out this T-28. He was definitely not looking at you. Takes you a little while to do it, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, and you make sure that he dies and you don't take a hit. Challenger's getting pushed. Your WZ's down here. You've got a low, so you're looking good in the city. The other side is holding. Come around here. We get a shot on the CDC, but we trade for a shot on us. Your reload and the CDC's reload is about the same, so I thought that was a good decision not to press that situation. The WZ is moving up anyway, so at this point, just looking for some lights. Let them get busy dealing with the heavies and the other things that are in there, and then maybe you can pop out and get a shot. This is a good example of using your teammates to your advantage right there. He's not necessarily doing anything wrong to hurt his teammates, but he is waiting for a little backup. No sense just diving in there, and he ends up taking down the CDC with a little bit of teamwork. Nice to see. And then everybody, student body right. I thought they were all going to go back up into the middle. Looks like maybe there's a little indecision from everybody on what exactly to do here. And that's pretty typical when you win a flank and now you're thinking, all right, now what? We're winning fairly handily. The middle's holding, but we do need to get rid of this object in T-34. We need to dig these guys out right there so that we can then get more control of the middle. The 44-100 is going to try to go around the backside there. For me right now, there's too many guns left in the game for that push. And the object 430 just gets himself in a really bad spot right here. Gets hammered from every direction, tracked, and down he goes. T-34 is trying to get away. He's backing up into the buildings there. And the 44-100 has pretty good map control down there, so this is looking good. However, there does seem to be a push developing over on the west side. Yep, looks like more and more filtering up there. And for me, Swell, I would have moved up to the middle right here instead of kind of trolling around down below here. I'm going to move forward. And that's exactly why. So I talk about this a lot. Once you win a flank, unless you're handily winning, and you're winning pretty well, but I would not say it's necessarily handily right now, go back or switch back to a middle area of the map so you can support both your cap and a push to the cap. And this map has a perfect spot for that. That's up on the top on that middle ridge right there. Because now we've got a circle going on. We have them up there in the northwest, you guys coming in from the southeast, and both threatening each other's cap, but you've got more tanks and somewhat better position, especially as you're going to control the middle here pretty soon. T-34 is in big trouble right there. He's trying to hope that his snipers up on the hill there will be able to keep these guys from coming out, but they've got a little bit of low ground they can hide behind, and he's just in a bad spot right there. The old automatic shoot and back up, you got him tracked, you get right back in. Nothing really lost right there. Maybe not necessarily a point where you needed to automatically back up, but that's pretty much an instinctual move for most World of Tanks players. And he has done a nice job of resisting pushing the 2 button. He's down to 1 AP shell. And now you look at his damage, 1751. Remember to look at his total damage when we get done. Nice shot right there. And that's one of the nice things about the Challenger, even with the big gun. It is a pretty accurate gun. Plus it's a TD with a turret, although it doesn't turn all the way around. It does give it a lot of flexibility, and as you can see, its mobility is really nice as well. So this is a very good repositioning and follow-up TD, which can swing into a medium roll very well towards the end of the game and gobble up more hit points. You do have to be careful about being caught out, overextending, or getting into circling brawls, because it just doesn't do very well with that. But if you wait till this point of the game, then you can use your mobility and get in there and gobble up more hit points. You'll see he's at 2,000. He finds the IS. The TR's down below. Shows up on the IS's flank. Pretty good depression on this now. You can see he's actually able to use this little ridge right here and with not too much trouble. IS misses, and then he knows he can come straight up in here, put a nicely aimed shot on the lower plate, and down goes the IS-6 with 5 kills. Now 2,792 damage shown, 1,300 spotting. His total damage, when you take a look at the card, is 3,649, which means that over 800 extra damage was done by shooting into those bushes. That's probably about 3 connections in there, based on the damage, maybe 4 if there was some low rolls in there. So nice job there, Swellso. Good game. Some good things to learn, especially for the Fisherman's Bay map. Things to think about as the meta starts to solidify, and you know there's going to be people in those bushes. Artillery can do the same thing, dropping shots into there as well. So just something to think about. If you're using that spot, you may want to move around a bit and not expose yourself or just sit there too long, because people have been firing in blind shots on that now. And as for the rest of the game, nice job. My only quibble is I would have moved into the middle much earlier, but as it is, fantastic game. Good job. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.